Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Farhana Sheikh. Tesla's reported decision to abandon plans to build electric vehicle factories in the region was not a result of Malaysia's performance or policies, says Prime Minister.
Kerana mereka mengalami kerugian, tidak dapat bersaing dengan EV negara China, jadi operasi dari Thailand itu besar. Kita baru nak mula. Jadi itu kita dapat keterangan langsung kita.
Anwar stated the Prime Minister was addressing questions about reports suggesting Tesla had shelved plans to build factories in the three Southeast Asian nations to concentrate on setting up charging stations. Although Tesla initially expressed interest in Thailand, Anwar noted that its plans for Malaysia were still in the early stages. Tesla currently operates sales offices and showrooms in both Thailand and Malaysia. The Artificial Intelligence Governance and Ethics developed by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, will be launched by the end of this year. MOSTI Minister Chang Lee Kang said the AIGE is now in the final stage and once approved by the Cabinet, will be launched in December. Lee Kang said his ministry is working with the Digital Ministry in formulating the guidelines and is in the process. A medical doctor at Sultan Idris Shah Hospital in Serdang has been remanded for 2 days until tomorrow. The remand order was issued under the Penal Code for trespassing and impersonating a civil servant, respectively. If convicted, the penalty for trespassing can be imprisonment for up to 3 years or a maximum fine of 5,000 ringgit or both. For impersonating a public servant, the penalty can be imprisonment for up to 2 years, a fine or both. Yesterday, Sepang Police Chief Wan Kamarul Azran Wan Yusof said the teenager was arrested at 9 a.m. at the lobby of the Sultan Idris Shah Hospital in Serdang. Medical scrubs and a hospital lanyard were also seized by the police. Initial investigations revealed that the suspect had breached the hospital's operating room using a fake ID, claimed to be a doctor and offered to assist in performing surgeries. In a shift from its earlier stance, the government will now allow private sector employers to grant a replacement holiday on September 17th, according to a statement by major public holidays, Malaysia Day and the Prophet Muhammad's birthday on September 16th. In light of this overlap, the ministry has issued guidelines granting 2 public holidays instead of 1. The ministry said Malaysia Day, which falls on a Monday, is a mandatory public holiday. It cannot be replaced with other dates. Meanwhile, the Prophet Muhammad's birthday is an optional public holiday for private sector employers. We urge employers to be aware of and comply with its notifications. The ringgit has staged a notable recovery, outperforming other ASEAN currencies following an 11-day rally against the US dollar earlier this week. But will this upward momentum continue? We speak to Muhammad Siddiq Jantan, Head of Investment Research, UOB Kay Hian Wealth Advisors, to find out what are the factors driving this performance.
My point of view, it will be still undervalued because at my side, we foresee the ringgit will be strength. If you ask me, what is the drive for the ringgit? The view for the last week and also early of this week is highly derived by first on the increase of the interest rate, but instead of I look at the increase of the interest rate, I'm looking at the change of the central bank tones. Because it's not just one central bank make a decisions like we see the ECB has increased the interest rate and followed by the BOJ increase the interest rate. Then there's a create the I can say there's a fear among the market and people try to look at the which any other countries they have a stable in terms of the currency or stable in terms of the interest rate, which is a among of the economists, they may see it like most likely this particular country may not increase or may not reduce their interest rate. So what they find the Asia Pacific, Southeast Asia, that's a much more like a very stable. The ringgit have been strengthened, is highly driven by what we call the fear among of the investor. especially that from the American and also that's from the Europe, because both for the Europe is already let's say clear the cut interest rate. However, for the what you call that, so for the Federal Reserve, uh, for the first time in this year, Fed Chair Jerome Powell clearly mentioned the Fed may cut the interest rate as soon in September. So basically, it's a validate everyone that most likely September will be like the rate cut. And we know that so when the interest rate cut, it make the currency not weakening and indirectly make all the other currency to be let's say strengthened.
Side is also positive that the ringgit will continue to strengthen in the coming months.
And I can say that the rally of the ringgit, it could be like a potential to be like a continued progress to on the strengthen, at least for the next one straight line. It's not going to be happen in the one straight line. It will be like the up and down based on the market dynamic. And I don't see internally if let's say we have any like the downside risk, I don't see it. But I may see that the downside risk come from the external.
We'll go for a quick break. Stay tuned for more.
Pelbagai inisiatif telah dilaksanakan bagi memperkasakan sektor pendidikan negara berdasarkan 7 teras nadi keunggulan Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. Pertama, pembinaan semula bangunan daif di sekolah menerusi penubuhan pasukan petugas khas reformasi agensi STAR. Kedua, projek penyelenggaraan tandas institusi pendidikan Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. Ketiga, pemberian bantuan awal persekolahan bagi sesi 2023-2024. Keempat, rancangan makanan tambahan. Kelima, perluasan program sekolah komprehensif 9 dan program sekolah komprehensif 11. Keenam, dasar pendidikan digital. Ketujuh, program gotong royong madani KPM 2023. Kerajaan sentiasa mengutamakan pendidikan melalui inisiatif bagi memacu negara ke arah intelektual yang berdaya saing.
Welcome back. Egypt, Qatar and the United States have issued a joint statement urging Israel and Hamas to resume negotiations for ceasefire and a deal on hostage releases. The statement noted that the three countries have developed a framework agreement with only the details of its implementation remaining to be finalized. Israel said it would send negotiators to the proposed talks, which are penciled in for 15 August in Doha or Cairo. Hamas has yet to respond. The joint statement comes amid months of failed attempts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. The renewed diplomatic push is also seen as an attempt to stop regional tensions from spiraling out of control after Hamas's leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated last week. Iran, blaming Israel, has vowed a response, though Israel has not commented directly on the killing. The assassination of Haniyeh, a key figure in the negotiations, was widely perceived as an attempt by efforts to end the war. Meanwhile, the members of Thailand's disbanded Move Forward party launched a new party on today, vowing to continue their efforts to push Thailand forward to democracy. Over 140 lawmakers who belong to Move Forward moved to the new People's Party, which remains the largest opposition party in parliament. Move Forward was dissolved by the Constitutional Court on Wednesday over its campaign to amend the country's lèse-majesté law. The court also banned the party's 11 executives, including former leader Pita Limjaroenrat, from politics for 10 years. The new People's Party will be led by 37-year-old Natapong Ruangpanjangwat, a former executive of a cloud software company who joined Move Forward in 2019. Natapong said the new party will carry on Move Forward's ideology and aim to create a government for change in 2027. Move Forward's liberal agenda has won massive support from young and urban voters, but earned it some powerful enemies with plans that include reforming the military and dismantling business monopolies worth billions of dollars each year. Bangladesh Nobel Peace Prize winning economist Muhammad Yunus was sworn in as the head of the country's caretaker government. This came only 3 days after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was forced to quit and flee the country following violent protests.
84-year-old Yunus was recommended for the role by student protesters and returned to Dhaka earlier on Thursday from Paris, where he was undergoing medical treatment. Known as the banker to the poor, Yunus is the pioneer of the global microcredit movement. The Grameen Bank he founded won the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize for helping lift millions from poverty by providing tiny loans to the rural poor who are too impoverished to gain attention from traditional banks. Yunus will be the chief advisor in the interim government tasked with holding fresh elections in the South Asian country of 170 million people. The student-led movement that ousted Hasina grew out of protests against quotas in government jobs that spiraled in July, provoking a violent crackdown that drew global criticism, although the government denied using excessive force. The protests were also fueled by harsh economic conditions and a feeling of political repression in the country.
Over in Austria, authorities have detained a third suspect in Vienna connected to an alleged plot to strike a Taylor Swift concert in the Austrian capital. The Interior Ministry said the 18-year-old Iraqi national is said to have come from the same circle as the main suspect, a 19-year-old Austrian with North Macedonian roots. The main suspect, who had vowed loyalty to Islamic State, was planning a lethal assault among the estimated outside Vienna's Ernst Happel Stadium, where the concerts were to be held. Two other Austrian youths, aged 7 and 15, were detained on Wednesday over the alleged plot. Austrian authorities are reported to have received information about the Swift concert threat from US intelligence. Austrian law does not allow the monitoring of instant messaging apps, which the suspects had used to communicate. Local media also report that the Iraqi suspect is reported to have sworn allegiance to Islamic State on August 6, but it remains unclear whether he had anything to do with the planned attack. That wraps up AWANI tonight. I'm Farhana Sheikh. Thank you for watching.